the Quest Pro has finally been released and being their first new headset in their Pro lineup. But let's directly talk about the elephant in the room, because the Quest Pro is shockingly expensive, coming in at a price point of $1,500. Meaning that for the same price, you can buy 3 Quest 2 headsets with the highest storage option. But with this ridiculous price tag come a lot of new features. So let's do a side-to-side comparison, starting off with the display and optics. This part of the spec sheet is actually pretty straightforward, because both VR headsets are rocking almost nearly the same resolution. But the big deal is their new pancake lenses. This allows the headset to shrink and be a lot less front heavy. Regarding the refresh rate, however, the original Quest 2 started at 72 Hz, but thanks to recent updates, it is now capable of going all the way to 120. The Quest Pro, however, tops out at a 90 Hz, with it being highly unlikely that they will increase this after launch. And although this might sound like a downgrade, the 90 Hz is the industry standard for a good refresh rate in VR, with only a small number of apps actually running at 120. But more differences can be seen in the optical adjustment. Both headsets are capable of changing the IPD, which stands for interpupillary distance, which is the space between your eyes. The Quest 2 achieved this by 3 different positions. The Quest Pro, on the other hand, has a wider range from the minimal IPD to the maximum, and instead of using 3 different positions, is that it is automatically adjusted using the eye tracking cameras inside the headset. This is done because most people don't know their exact IPD, but setting this to the right position has a clear impact on how well your screen looks. But the internals play an even bigger role, which are the processor and RAM. The Qualcomm Snapdragon XR2 chip is the industry standard chip for immersive VR headsets, with the Quest 2 been rocking it for over 2 years now. And for the first time, the Quest Pro gets an all-new chip, this one being called the Snapdragon XR2 Plus, which should include a bigger RAM of up to 12 GB and a better cooling solution, allowing it to run at higher speeds without overheating. But the claims of Meta that this will increase a power boost of 50% should be taken with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, this is the exact same chip with better RAM and better cooling. But one of the most requested features of a lot of Quest 2 users is a bigger field of view. And technically speaking, the Quest Pro is capable of reaching a higher field of view, but this is only because it is possible to move the lenses as close to your eyes as you're comfortable with. But if kept the same, there won't be any noticeable difference. Another note is that the Quest Pro has an open design, compared to the Quest 2, which blocks out as much light from the outside world. This is intentionally done for making the headset's pass-through feel a lot more natural, but luckily it also ships with light blockers that can be magnetically attached to hide as much outside peripheral view, but not creating the full 100%, because to get that, you will actually need the optional full light blocker accessory, which I think for this price point should have been included directly. But a big impact on the performance and comfort is the weight of the headset. The Quest Pro is a lot heavier, coming in at 722 grams, where the Quest 2 only weighs about 503. However, when wearing these headsets, it feels like the exact opposite. This is mainly because the Quest 2 has everything built into the front, whereas the Quest Pro, with their new pancake lenses and battery put in the back of the headset, covers its weight over the entire thing, in theory making the Quest Pro a lot more comfortable. So let's talk about the battery life. This is one of the most controversial topics after the Quest Pro got announced, because many users actually want a VR headset that lasts longer than the Quest 2 2 to 3 hours battery life. But the Quest Pro only gets a total amount of 1 to 2 hours. Which seems to be a big deal breaker for gamers that want to get this headset. Because although for businesses 1 to 2 hours might be enough, if you are strapped in to play an open world VR game, 1 hour is really cutting it short. Though Meta did try to address this problem by including a dock with the headset to encourage people to keep it in an always charged state. But it is almost certain that many will crave a much longer runtime. But besides the headset, one of the most exciting and biggest improvements is in the VR controllers. This one is probably a straight win for the Quest Pro, because these new designs actually have onboard inside-out tracking. This is exactly like the tracking on the headset itself, where the controllers have cameras built inside them so that they can track where they are in space. The big difference that this makes is that your controllers will still be seen in VR when you put them behind your back, where previously, with the Quest 2 controllers, once occluded from the cameras, it completely lost its tracking. And they also include some new improved haptics, with the possibility of a pinch sensor and a new stylus. But a thing that a lot of people don't know is that the Quest Pro controllers are also compatible with the Quest 2. And you can buy these separately if you want. Of course, they won't be cheap at all, rocking in at $300. It still is a very cool option to give Quest 2 users the ability to upgrade their controllers without having to buy a complete new headset. But another all-new feature that is highly underrated is the face and eye tracking. This is only included in the Quest Pro, that has 5 sensors built into the headset that can see your eyes and your face, which can be translated into pretty compelling models for your expressions. And although not many apps and games use this right now, it does make a big difference when using it for business meetings or social interactions. And of course, one of the biggest selling points of the Quest Pro is the color pass-through, where the Quest 2 only has a low resolution black and white view when looking at your surroundings. The Quest Pro has a full color HD camera, making the headset highly capable of augmented and mixed reality. This is also the selling point that Meta tries to pitch, and using this mixed reality for businesses or work environments. But that gets us to the final conclusion. The Quest Pro packs some amazing new features that for many were a must-have on a VR headset. But by doing so, it comes in at a price point more than triple that of the Quest 2. And on top of that, it also takes a big hit on the battery life. And that's why, if you already own a Quest 2 and use it mainly for gaming, I don't think it is worth it to upgrade to the Quest Pro, even if you don't own a Quest 2 already. And instead, wait for the future Quest 3. But in case you are a developer or are looking for a headset purely for mixed reality, or its use case for work and business, then this headset might be right for you.